let's talk about Bitcoin and gold today, and in particular, the differences in response to geopolitical tensions. Now, I want to show a few charts on the screen for the audience. The first is something you put together for us. This shows the gold price over the last couple of months, and in particular, we see a huge spike or a short rally in the last couple of weeks in response to, well, Ukraine and geopolitical tensions there. Now, I want to show you what Bitcoin's been doing. A little bit of I wouldn't call it a rally, but a little bit of a blip upwards. But overall, the trend has still been down. And it doesn't seem like Bitcoin is reacting as positively to news out of Eastern Europe as gold has. So explain the differences here. People are talking about both of these assets being a safe haven asset. Well, they're behaving differently, right?
I don't know if the safe haven, it's a broad word. I think the better word is when you look at gold, its breadth and depth, historical significance as a wonderful asset is really showing up when you have war. Bitcoin is a new phenomenon. It's over a decade old. It's new, and its ecosystem around the world is. So I think that gold stocks and bullion are deeply undervalued on a relative basis, and we're seeing now all of a sudden gold pop. I do not think that interest rates are going to be able to get above the inflationary rate like they did in 1980, because you would have to have rates jump to 9% in the US to get a real positive rate of interest rate, and that would crush the global economy. So I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that more people are going to look at gold and silver as those great core 10% weighting your portfolio.
Like this upward momentum that we've seen in gold, can this be sustained? I've heard various viewpoints. Some economists have argued that geopolitical tensions in the past have spiked gold up, like you've said, provided tailwinds, but they're not sustainable tailwinds. Usually when tensions die down, or even if something escalates, the price momentum from geopolitical tensions don't really stick for gold. Is that true?
Well, I think a lot has to do with if it's a sustained war, there's lots of money printing, and then gold starts to perform as a sort of a resort asset to protect a portfolio from fiat money. I think it's important is that the crypto world articulates it very, very succinctly of centralized versus decentralized assets. And Bitcoin is decentralized, but it's a new asset. Gold is historically also decentralized. There's not many other liquid global assets that you can move around or they're decentralized. What's happening right now with Bitcoin is just the G7 countries of this year have been going after the regulatory ecosystem. The regulatory world is going after the crypto ecosystem. You're seeing other countries all of a sudden ban it. Lots of concern on who's going to regulate Bitcoin is a digital asset made with electricity and equipment, where proof of stake, not proof of work. It is a digital asset, and it's not really classified as like Bitcoin is. And so there's a big belief with the regulatory world that it's a security. So therefore, the SEC is in a very serious battle against Ripple. And I think that this is not just happening here, it's happening in other countries. So that's why I believe you're not seeing Bitcoin take off. There has to be greater certainty and clarity on regulatory rules of the crypto industry.
Bitcoin is relatively young compared to gold. It's been trading since 2010. It hasn't seen the start of a major war yet. We've seen, the annexation of Crimea a few years ago, but that wasn't like a major global conflict. Suppose we do have an escalation. I'm not saying this will happen, but just suppose we do have an escalation of tensions, and a lot of nations get, involved, and we have sort of a global outbreak. What do you expect Bitcoin to do in that scenario?
I really can't give you any guidance on that at this stage, because you need electricity, and if economies get destroyed by blowing everyone's substations up and you don't have electricity, Bitcoin's not going to be very functional. But I do believe that it will grow because of this global phenomena, which we saw last year with PayPal and Robinhood. It's growing all over the world, but it still doesn't have the breadth and depth. And by the way, if you want to wear a Bitcoin, it has to look like gold. So gold is gold, and I think it's beautiful to wear. Well, I don't think war is the big story right there for the Bitcoin ecosystem. Does not really talk much about war. They just talk about fiat printing, money printing, and the fact that Bitcoin is capped at 21 million coins. If gold production was capped, then gold would go through the roof very quickly. So when we take a look at the global money printing, I think it's pushing $300 trillion of global debt now, just underneath that ceiling. So I think that they're both unique asset classes, and gold should be 10%, and people should consider having a crypto exposure. A small one, because it's much more volatile and speculative.
Okay. Is there a better asset to hold if you were to compare Bitcoin or gold, or would you hold both? What's your thesis there in that case?
Well, historically, it's been gold, and so I think I would stick with that. And I think once we get more regulatory rules and regulations that come into the crypto ecosystem, then Bitcoin will take on its next leg of interest globally.
CEOs have been talking about the next bull cycle for Bitcoin, and this is just one point of view. People have been saying that the next bull run won't start until 2024, which is 2 years from now, which implies sort of a crypto winter, a stagnation of 2 years, whatever you want to call it. Is that a sentiment you share, Frank, or do you disagree with that?
No, I think that the sooner we get some positive, constructive regulatory guidelines, then I think that all of a sudden the adoption will continue. The adoption of gaming and crypto, digital money through all these games around the world, it's not going away. I think we take a look at the Ethereum ecosystem. It has tens of millions of kids. I've mentioned this before. When I was a kid, I had a paper route for extra money. Today, they take their gaming and they take those GPU chips and they go to bed and they turn them on and they're mining Ethereum. And if they can generate 1 or 2 additional Ethereum coins a year, it's thousands of dollars. Well, there's tens of millions of people around the world that are doing this. So that ecosystem, and all of a sudden buying another crypto coin or that interest with it, that is all tied to the growth of digital. And I believe gaming, and now it's going to be the metaverse. Where are you going to stake? So I want to find out where the best gold mines are on the metaverse and stake the land. That's a smart move to go and do.